Cacio e pepe is an ancient Roman pasta dish historically created by shepherds. It was created because of the ingredients: dried pasta, aged pecorino romano cheese, and peppercorns, being highly portable, non-perishable, and energy dense for long migrations. In Italian, cacio e pepe means cheese and pepper. It's very simple with only 5 ingredients and only takes about 15 minutes to make. It's creamy, it's cheesy, it's peppery, it's cacio e pepe. The first thing I want to do is get my water boiling. And I'm only going to use about a quart, maybe a quart and a half of water, because we really want the starch in the water to build up. And the starch is what's going to help thicken the sauce, and it's also going to help the sauce stick to the pasta. And I'm going to get this pan nice and hot too, so I can toast my peppercorns. While we're waiting for that, let's go over the ingredients that we're going to be using for today. So for the ingredients, I'm going to be using a high quality aged pecorino romano cheese, Tellicherry peppercorns, and you can totally just use black peppercorns if that's all you have. Some bronze cut spaghetti, specifically bronze cut, and basically all that means is that the spaghetti has a rough, jagged texture, and that's gonna make it easier for the sauce to grip onto the pasta. Just a little bit of salt to season the pasta water, and obviously our water. And I'm also gonna be using a pestle and mortar to grind the peppercorns. So now let me show you how to put it all together. Okay, our pan is hot, so now I'm gonna start toasting the peppercorns. And this is cacio e pepe with pepper being in the name, so this is how many peppercorns I'm going to be using, or how much I'm going to be using. And I'm going to start toasting these. And I'm only going to toast these for about a minute or two. I'm just toasting these until they become fragrant. Alright, our peppercorns are now fragrant, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this in the mortar and let them cool down. Just until they get to room temperature. Turn the heat off. And while we wait for these peppercorns to cool down and the water to start boiling, we're gonna go ahead and grate our cheese. And the reason I'm using a block of pecorino and not the pre-grated stuff is because the pre-grated stuff has like potato flour or potato starch or something on the outside of it to keep it from clumping. And that's not really gonna melt as well. All right, that should be good. So I have about this much. Okay, our water is boiling, so at this point we can go ahead and add salt and our pasta. Just a little bit of salt. You don't want to over season this because there's already going to be a lot of salt from the pecorino. And now our spaghetti. We're going to try to work this in the water. All right, so this pasta takes about 11 minutes to cook. So we're going to set a timer for 4 minutes. And we're gonna finish cooking it to al dente in this pan with the peppery broth that we're about to make. So at this point, we can go ahead and crush our peppercorns. And I don't wanna grind this too fine. I want there to be a good ratio of coarsely ground pepper and finely ground pepper. So this is what I'm looking for. This is looking good for me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this in the pan. We're gonna set a little bit of it to the side for the garnish. And we're gonna steal a little bit of this pasta water. Maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna turn the heat on. And that's the timer going off, which means we should check our pasta. It's looking pretty good. We're gonna bring this in the pan up to a simmer and let that pepper infuse. We're gonna go ahead and turn this pot down a little bit. We want it to still be kind of warm though. Bring this up to a simmer. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my pasta. And like I said before, we're gonna finish cooking this pasta to al dente in this pan with this peppery broth stuff. And I'm gonna keep my pasta water because I might need that. It's full of starch and we need a little bit of starch. Just gonna mix this around a little bit. And we're just gonna let this sit and finish cooking to al dente. And we're also gonna keep this pasta water over here nice and warm. I'm gonna make sure I come and stir this around every minute or so. And we want the liquid in this pan to reduce down to a nice concentrated starchy liquid. It should turn kind of thick, and that's what's gonna help emulsify the cheese and make a nice creamy sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and check one of these noodles to see where we're at, how close we are to al dente. We are almost there. Probably only needs about another minute or two. If it starts to get a little dry, add a little bit more pasta water. And you wanna reduce this down until there's almost no liquid left. But but you don't want it bone dry. So you kind of have to try and balance the amount of liquid you have in the pan. And as you can see, the liquid is starting to get really thick and kind of cloudy. That's from the starch, and that's what's gonna really help create this creamy sauce. So I think the pasta is good at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat. Add a little splash more of pasta water, just making sure that I don't get this really dry. And we're just gonna let this sit for about a minute to let it cool down a little bit. If you go and add the cheese right now when it's piping hot, the cheese is gonna get too hot, it's gonna separate, it's gonna get all stringy and clumpy, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a creamy emulsified sauce. So just let it sit for a minute, let it cool down just a little bit. Have some patience. I'm also making sure I scrape down the sides and everything every so often. Okay, now we can start adding the cheese, a little bit at a time. And stir. And you can already see that the cheese is starting to emulsify into the liquid, making a nice creamy sauce. Add a little bit more cheese, a little bit more pasta water, and continue stirring. Scrape down the sides. This is how we're looking so far. It's getting nice and creamy. It's not too dry. We're in a good spot. Add some more cheese, some more pasta water, and continue to mix. Scrape down the sides. I'm gonna add one more little ladle of pasta water. We're gonna go ahead and add the rest of the cheese. A little bit more pasta water. Look how creamy this is. This is exactly what we're looking for. Scrape down the sides. It's nice and creamy. It's not clumpy or stringy. It's perfectly emulsified. It's time to plate. Let's go. Okay, that looks really good. Let's get a little bit more of the sauce on there. A little bit more pecorino. And some more of the peppercorns. And there we go. And that's how you make a delicious cacio e pepe. All right, let's give this a taste. I just took a bite, but ooh, that's good. I just took a bite and I forgot to say, cheers. It's a little spicy from the black pepper. It's good though. It has a nice texture from the peppercorns being like coarsely ground. It's nice and creamy. It's salty from the pecorino romano and the salted pasta water. It's peppery and it's absolutely delicious. What's there not to love about cacio e pepe? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you're new and you want to see more cooking and recipe videos, subscribe to the channel. My name is Alec, and I'll see you in the next video.